Rolex assumes zero responsibility. That's what we're going to talk about today in this quick video. I'm going to read briefly from a statement that they recently came out with that is just ridiculous. And it's a gold mine. It's a gem, and it's not a great one. So let me pull it up here real quick, and then we'll talk about a few things that they say. Let's start with this one. They say, the scarcity of our products is not a strategy on our part. Our current production cannot meet the existing demand in an exhaustive way, at least not without reducing the quality of our watches, something we refuse to do, as the quality of our products must never be compromised. So I think this is funny because, I know most of you that watch me, you think Rolex is playing games, so to speak. They are pumping up the image of their brand. There's artificial scarcity, and Rolex here is saying, hey, the scarcity is not a strategy on our part. Really, we are making the best watch we can, and that takes time, that takes effort. I don't know that I really believe that part of their statement there, but let's continue. Again, there are some really rich statements here. They say, all Rolex watches are developed and produced in-house at our 4 sites in Switzerland. They are assembled by hand with extreme care to meet the brand's unique and high-quality standards of quality, performance, and aesthetics. Understandably, this naturally restricts our production capacities, which we continue to increase as much as possible and always according to our quality criteria. So we learned that Rolex has 4 different facilities in Switzerland, and they're doing their best to pump watches out, and they roughly produce 1 million per year, 1 million watches per year. Although last year they did not produce that much just because their facility was closed down for a time. Nobody was producing watches for a spell during the pandemic. So they're saying that, hey, we are doing as much as we can to increase our production capacities. And I wonder what that means. Are they going to be building more facilities? Aren't they already stretched thin as it is? Like, I kind of wonder what they're doing there. And if you can hear my family coming in from outside, just excuse me. I'm a dad. I'm a family man, and this happens. But let's continue here. This is the gem of the statement. It's the last thing that they say. Finally, it should be noted that Rolex watches are available exclusively from official retailers who independently manage the allocation of watches to customers. And that is where it gets really rich and ironic, and where they're assuming zero responsibility. They're essentially throwing their ADs under the bus right here and saying, hey, you know what? We're making as much as we can, the best quality products as possible, and guess what? We don't have a strategy for scarcity. If you're mad that you can't get a Rolex, talk to the ADs because they independently manage all allocation. And where that's ironic is Rolex, essentially, they don't treat their ADs very well. The ADs get the shorter end of the stick. They have to buy whatever Rolex sells or sends to them. They have to buy specific display and signage. They have to meet a certain threshold for advertising, local advertising. They're restricted to being in certain areas of cities, like you have to be in a higher rent district. If you have an on-site watchmaker, they have to have the latest and greatest specific machines involved. And I understand that, but Rolex sells those machines, or they own the brands that sell the machines. And so these ADs, they have to spend ridiculous amounts of money to be able to sell whatever Rolex decides that they can get. And they secret shop the customers. Rolex, essentially, I don't work for an AD, and I don't work for Rolex. So from my third-party perspective, I think Rolex is kind of crappy to their ADs. And here in this statement, they're saying, hey, it's the AD's fault if you can't get a watch. They control allocation, not us. They're assuming no responsibility. And that's kind of crazy. So, whoever wrote this in Rolex, I don't know, man. They're probably going to get some flack because this statement is quite ridiculous. And I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section. I know most of you that watch me, you're watch enthusiasts. you're kind of salty on Rolex. You don't like the availability. You don't like, the value of, the appreciation of the value of these products. In some cases, they're just, worth more than a comparable full precious metal watch. And it's steel. It's about the hype, and you don't like hype. So I recognize a lot of you watching, you're not going to be happy. And I know some of you that watch me, you do love Rolex. You do love your collection. You do love the fact that you buy a watch and then it appreciates and you've got more in your portfolio. They do make a dang good watch. I will say that. My sub is the easiest watch to wear in my collection. And I very much enjoy Rolex watches. In fact, I'm hoping to buy more this year. So, we'll see what happens. I'm just interested to hear your take in the comment section. Basically, I think, and even as a fan, I can say this, Rolex just totally botched this. This statement is absolutely ridiculous. They're not saying very much. In some cases, I think they're probably lying. And then they're just throwing the 80s under the bus and saying, hey, we've washed our hands. Like, we're doing the best we freaking can. All right. It's ironic. I can't even talk. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.